Hi, my name is Miley, your Miss Junior High United States and Global Ambassador for the Vascular Birthmarks Foundation. And this is More Than a Birthmark. Welcome to More Than a Birthmark, the web series featuring individuals with birthmarks to raise awareness and share some fun facts about this amazing community. My name is Miley, and today I am joined by Natalie Springston Fulcher, an aviation mechanic for the U.S. Navy and Etsy crafter. Thank you so much for joining me today, Natalie. Hey! So how are you doing today?
I am well. How are you?
Doing well. So I wanted to start by explaining that I was connected to you by a friend who is in the Navy Reserve. She saw a post of yours that explained how you had embraced your Port Weinstein birthmark and after many years stopped spending time and money on cosmetics to cover up your condition. After seeing this post, I had to meet you, and I'm so glad that you agreed to join me today.
Thank you so much.
So, for our audience who did not see your posts, can you talk a little bit about your realization about the cost of covering your birthmark since you were 10 years old?
Yes. So, like you said, I've been wearing makeup since I was 10. And, for most of my childhood, my dad bought my makeup for me. So I wasn't really aware of how much it was until I became an adult and I had to start buying it myself. And I realized it's very expensive. But I relied on it so much. It was such a crutch for me that I would have spent any amount of money to get it to be able to cover myself from everyone. And it really started, my husband and I really recently started going to a new church. We've been working with the youth group in the church. And there are girls in there that are really struggling with their confidence. And I'm sitting there and I'm telling them, how they need to love themselves and they need to embrace who they are. And I realized I'm not living that. I'm hiding myself constantly. So I decided that if I'm going to start be talking the talk, I need to try to start walking the walk. And I just had this epiphany and thought about all that covering and hiding who I am has really robbed me of so many experiences and money. So that's where that came from.
Right. And that is amazing. Like, I think you have to be at a certain confidence level to really be able to embrace yourself. And I really admire that about you and just how strong and brave you are, because that's amazing. Like, I love that.
Thanks so much. It's definitely still a struggle. There's still some days that I wear it, but I've decided that's okay. If you still want to wear the makeup, that's fine. I just don't want it to be a crutch. I don't want it to hold me back from anything anymore.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, sometimes I just love to do my makeup to do my makeup. You know what I mean? Like, it's super fun. Like, I did it today, working it. I see you're working some. I love it. You know what I mean? So, it's perfect.
Yes, I love it. It is fun. It's a fun thing for us to do. We start doing it when we're little girls, so
yeah,
it's still fun to do.
Get those little princess palettes, like the ones that have crazy colors, and you're put it all over your eyes. I've seen it. So, was there something or someone who inspired you to make this decision to embrace your birthmark?
Yes, I think it's really just my experience. One, with working with the girls and youth, and two, it would have to probably be my relationship with God. I, like I was saying, I was talking to the girls, I was telling them how much God loves them and how He made them perfect. And I had to realize that I was made that way too. And if I'm hiding who I am, then I can never really be who I am. So that's what really inspired me.
Right. So what made you feel you needed to cover your birthmark starting at such a young age? Were you bullied?
Oh yes, I was definitely bullied. I can remember being bullied. Some of my earliest memories are of that. in kindergarten, all throughout grade school, even through middle school and high school. When I was wearing the makeup, it would fade and rub off. And I played a lot of sports, so I would even get bullied then. And on into adulthood, my whole childhood, I was told, kids are so cruel, it'll get better. But I think one thing that was a harsh reality is that it didn't really get better. Adults can still be cruel too. So that's why I started wearing makeup at such a young age, is because I just wanted to blend in. I didn't want to be known for my birthmark.
Right. And I can kind of connect with you in a way. Like, I've definitely had people make fun of me, give me looks. I was actually recently at Disney, and I had my compression stocking on my leg, and this little girl like went over to her mom and like was whispering, looking at me while she was whispering. So I knew she was talking about me. And it's just like the worst feeling in the world, because you're like, I can't say something to them like, can you maybe not talk about me? Like, because I don't know what she's saying, you know what I mean? But like, it can hurt. It definitely does. And I think that's one of the reasons why like we try to get the word out there about our conditions and about the birthmark, because then more people know about it and they know not to almost stare at people, because that can make you feel very uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't know what they're thinking.
I think staring is the worst. You get it a lot, especially with young kids. If I ever go out without my makeup, or when I was getting the surgeries and I couldn't wear my makeup and it's really dark during the surgeries, young kids would tug on their mom's shirt and be, "Mom, what happened to you?" And the mom shushes them. And I wish that people didn't do that. I wish they would allow the kids to just come up and ask, and I can explain it to them. Because there's nothing worse than being stared at and whispered about. Kind of makes you feel like you're not human, like you're an animal in a zoo. So I would much prefer if people would come and ask tactfully in a nice way, come and ask if they're curious, because I mean, it's nothing for me to be ashamed of, and I think curiosity is natural.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a lot better. I wish, when people come up to you and they actually ask you, like, I've had my friends, I've had, new people from dance studios, from new friends, like their kids, I guess their sisters or siblings, come up to me and be like, why is that on your leg? Or what is that on your leg? And usually I will say it's a birthmark and I was born with it. Done with conversation. And if they have any questions, I'll answer them. And it's a lot better, and it makes you feel a lot better than when they're staring at you and they're like, when you're like,
yes,
hi, I know you're talking about me. You can come up to me. So
I think that's something people need to realize. If we're trying to get the word out, like, when you're staring at us, we're hyper aware. When you're different, you're hyper aware of what people are doing. So we know when you're staring, we know when you're whispering, and it does hurt.
We can feel the eyes in the back of our heads. It's like everywhere. Even if you're not looking, you can tell when someone's looking at you and you're like, So now that you have embraced your birthmark and your true beauty, what kind of response have you received?
Oh man. So I posted that post on social media. I posted it on Facebook, and then I put it on Instagram. And I'm a veteran, so I'm part of a military veteran group for women. I posted it in there, and the response was overwhelming. I've never had that many likes or comments on a post in my life. And it really it made me feel great. But two, the comments coming from the girls, one, there were so many girls that had vascular birthmarks too, and I had no idea. It's not a super common thing, so I haven't met a lot of people, and I definitely didn't think there would be as many in the military as there are. And telling them just commenting and telling me their stories and their struggles, and how that post has helped inspire them to kind of embrace it as well. That means more than even anything, to be able to help them so that they don't have to really struggle and fight with the things like I did.
Right. And it's definitely the best feeling, because for such a long time, I felt like I was the only person out there with a vascular birthmark. And I'm sure you have felt the same way. And when I discovered that someone that actually used to watch me at the studio, my old dance studio, she has a vascular birthmark. And I was shocked. I was like, she has one? And it's just like, it was like full circle for me. It made me so happy because I always felt like I was alone. And I'm sure you felt the same way. Cause it's just like, it's like eye opening. You're like, I'm not the only one. And since it's so rare, it's like really other people have it. And it's just, it's like the best feeling.
Absolutely, it really is. I think everyone in this world wants to like feel like they're understood, and who can understand you better than someone who's walking the same walk. But yeah, I think maybe naturally just living my life out in the world, not on the internet. I've only met one or two people that have vascular birthmarks, so it's extremely rare.
Right. Yeah, I've definitely met a lot more people on the internet that have one. Like I said, I only know like one person from around my area because they are rare, but it is definitely like the best feeling when you're like,
Mhm.
I know someone that has one. I'm not the only one. You know
Yes,
what I
and
mean?
it helps you feel like the things that you feel about it are okay because they feel them too.
Yeah, and you can connect with the person like we're doing right now. Like we feel the same thing, and it's amazing.
Right. Mhm.
So you mentioned in your survey that you have a facial port Weinstein birthmark and correct me if I say this wrong, arteriovenous malformation.
Yes. So that is actually still up in the air. So when I was born in 1993, there wasn't a lot known. From what I've learned, there wasn't a lot known about vascular birthmarks. And I was diagnosed with a Port-Weinstein hemangioma. Now, after I've been going to see some doctors and I've been in contact with some specialists at CHGB, I'm being told that it's quite possible I was misdiagnosed all those years ago, and that I actually have a venous malformation. And that apparently over 60% of vascular birthmarks were misdiagnosed at that time. So it's still something that I'm learning about. I don't really know a lot about it myself, which is I think it's so great that you're doing this because there's not a lot known about it. Even people that have it don't know a lot about it.
Right. And I know when I was born, I think at first they thought it was just a birthmark, but then they figured out that it was more. And it's very hard too, because you're like, I want to know what it is. And I know,
Yeah.
especially for people that are adults now, like I'm still in my teens, obviously, they they didn't really know how to diagnose them exactly, further back because they didn't have as much information. And so I'm so grateful that they have the information now and they're learning. They're learning from each and every patient that they had, including you. And I think that's amazing. But
Yeah, they're doing a lot of research. I've been to a lot of doctors throughout my life, and I've never, until except for when I was an infant, and now I'm speaking to this new team. I've never met a doctor who's even seen a case like this.
right. So it sounds as though you had quite a few complications as a result of your, I have a hard time saying that word, arteriovenous malformation. I hope I said that right because I am really bad at saying it.
If you were saying it wrong, girl, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's like as long as it sounds close
Sure.
to it.
Google.
Including tumors, problems with your ear. Have you had any treatments or surgeries to help you with these issues?
Yeah. So when I was first born, I think I was very young, like still an infant. I started receiving laser treatment. Um, don't have very many memories of those. I was very young. And then when I was in the Navy, I really saw a lot of growth after I joined the Navy. Like throughout boot camp and after boot camp, I saw a lot of growth in my lower lip, which was concerning. When I was stationed in Pensacola, Florida for training, I saw a doctor there who tried some sclerosing agent treatment. They did not turn out very well. I had a pretty bad reaction. My lips swelled up about this size and it
Uh-huh.
actually exploded. I have scars all around here where the pressure just had nowhere to go and my face kind of exploded. That was not fun. Um, then following deployment in the Navy, I went through quite a few doctors before I found one. that was confident enough to do a surgery on my lower lip. At that time, it was really necessary because it had grown so large, it was causing me to have difficulty speaking. It was very heavy. So I was able to have two surgeries then to debulk the tumors in my lip. And then following that, I went through some laser treatments as well. And now I'm working with doctors to try to figure out what's next, multiple MRIs to make sure that the growth is not encroaching on my brain, which thankfully it's not. And I'm having trouble with my right ear, my canal. It goes all the way in through my ear. It goes into my throat. So the canal in my ear is very small, and it's not allowing for my ear to kind of self-clean the way the ears are supposed to do. So I have a lot of ear infections and impactions. And so we're working on trying to see what we can do about that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope it can, maybe be less painful. I know it's the worst feeling when you're living your life and then you remember from like a painful moment, like, you know what I mean, when like it like hurts for a second and you're like
Yeah.
I just wish it would go away. I just wish the pain would go away. So I'm so sorry, and I really do hope it gets better.
Thank you. I'm confident that it will. I think that I've started speaking to a really good team of doctors that really know what's going on. So I'm confident that they're going to find the right treatment and that it'll be okay.
I like confidence. Confidence
Yes,
for the win.
absolutely.
So you also discussed having issues finding a physician who understood your condition and getting insurance coverage for your care. Can you share a little bit about this?
Yeah, so after when I was young, my dad had insurance through a company that he was working for, and then he was no longer working for them. Um, when as I was growing, he would notice that it was getting darker or that it was growing a little bit, and he was trying to get insurance so that he could help me get the treatment. But nobody wanted to cover me, one, because of a pre-existing condition, and two, because they considered the laser treatments cosmetic, and that they weren't necessary for my health. And if he did find an insurance that was willing to cover me, it was extremely overpriced and out of the price range that we could really afford. And because those laser treatments are expensive. And when it comes to finding doctors, that was one of the biggest struggles that I had throughout my adulthood and youth, was finding a doctor that knew anything about my condition. I was told quite a few things that were from one doctor, and then another doctor was like, no, that's not it. And so actually when I got my surgery, I was given a chance from one of the military physicians to kind of go out into the public, into the civilian world, and find a doctor that I thought could do it myself and that they would approve for me to do that. So it was quite difficult, and even now finding people that know much about it.
Right. And I have to say, like, for myself, you know the VBF, right? And you've been on their site.
I'm brand new to it. I actually
Okay.
didn't find it until you reached out to me and I saw that you were a part of it. And I didn't even know it existed until you brought it to me.
Right. So the VBF it's really amazing because they promote medical education, so more professionals are aware of these conditions, and they also advocate for patients to help create laws to protect birthmark individuals and coverage for their treatments. So it is really a great organization and program, and they really do help people. So I think you will love it. You will find so many people. You'll make so many friends. I know I've made so many friends through it that also have birthmarks, and you definitely have to join a Zoom meeting. Their Zoom meetings, so fun. Last time we played birthmark bingo, and I'm very competitive, so I was getting very excited, and I only had one more, but I did not win. But they still do a lot of really fun stuff, so I think you'll really enjoy the BBF.
Absolutely. I'll definitely look into that. I'm already a part of the Facebook group and I've been watching some videos and posting stuff on there. It's really exciting to see all these people who are just like me.
Right, exactly. That's how I felt when I joined, because you're like, there's so many people now that I know that have conditions like me and vascular birthmarks like me, and it's amazing because you always feel like you're the only one. And when you can feel like there's other people like you out there, it's like the best feeling in the world.
It's freeing.
So transitioning to your life outside of your birthmark, I read that you are a contractor for the Navy and work on airplanes, which is so cool. Can you tell me a little bit more about your career?
Yes, so I joined the Navy when I was 19 years old. And I joined as an Aviation Structural Mechanic safety equipment, which is a fancy way of saying aircraft mechanic. I worked on ejection seats, cabin pressurization, um, fire protective systems, radar liquid cooling, and environmental control systems on the F-18 Super Hornet. I did that in the Navy active duty for 4 years. And then after my 4 years of active duty, I did active reserves, and I worked on a similar aircraft in reserves, but a different model. It was the uh, Alphas to Charlies on the Hornet. Um, and now, well, I actually just got a new job, but I have been working as a civilian contractor for the Navy for 4 years. And I recently, just this week, started a new job at CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network. So that's a new thing that I'm doing now.
Yeah, that is super cool because, like I said, I have a friend whose mom, amazing mom, she's also my friend, she's my bestie. She's in the Navy Reserve, yes. So it's like, I think it's so cool. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So you also make custom epoxy tumblers on Etsy. What is the name of the business and how can your viewers find it online?
So the name of my business is Glittering Soul Creation. And on Facebook, I am Glittering Soul Creations. I have a page on Etsy because they limit how long you make your name. It's Glittering S Creation. And yeah, I make custom epoxy tumblers.
That's awesome because I'm super crafty too. I love the crafts, and
Yeah.
I've seen some of your work. But could if you have anything with you, could you show our viewers?
Yeah, I do. I have my water collection.
Oh, she's got some right there. Ooh, super sparkly. I love it.
Yeah, lots of glitter. I have a lot of glitter.
I love glitter. Glitter, my obsession. And like so my mom got this rhinestone gun thing. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like I think they're called like heat crystals or something like that. And they have like adhesive on the back. And when I figured out how to use them, I've been using them ever since. I'm right now making like a jacket, but it's just so fun. Just blinging it out. I mean, it takes some time. It definitely takes some time because you have to like rhinestone each part. But as someone who is a big fan of rhinestones, glitter, sparkles, perfect.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It gets everywhere though.
It is very messy, yes, especially the glitter. My dad's always like, you have glitter. He's like, you better clean it up because I know that mess gets everywhere and it stays.
My husband gets made fun of because he'll go to work and somehow it's in his beard or on his face.
Right. And the funniest part is I'll be at dance or something, or I'll be somewhere, and my friend will be like, you have sparkle on your face. And I'm like, well, are you surprised? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, can you get it off? So it's always like the funniest part because that's how you know you live with someone that really likes sparkles.
Yeah, or crafts.
Crafts, anything like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned that you're a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm currently reading the third book and love the series. Without spoiling anything for me, which book is your favorite?
Oh no. I don't know. I would have to say I really liked The Prisoner of Azkaban. I really liked that one.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I would have to say that's probably my favorite.
Okay, so I need to finish reading that then. I have to finish reading it.
It's really good. I've always loved them. I've been reading Harry Potter since I was really little, so it's just kind of part of my life.
Yeah, and it's kind of just, I think it's very relaxing reading it. I don't know if that's the same for you, but
Mhm.
it kind of like is like an escape from like what you're actually like when there's like all that stress and stuff, and then you just read it and you're like, I wish I was here drinking butterbeer and
Yeah.
Christmas and like all of that. And you're like, it kind of just like escapes you from where you are, especially if you're like
Yeah,
stressed
so
out.
I'm reading them. You have to go down to Universal Studios and get you a real butter beer. Those are
Okay,
so
okay. So my mom, so we go to Disney a lot, because we're DVC members, and so
Mhm.
my mom was talking. She's like, one time we have to go to, but I think they call it Harry Potter World. I know it's in Universal, and I was like, okay, well you have to let me finish reading the books before we go. So now it's all on me because she read it,
Yeah.
my brother read it, and now it's up to me because my dad, he doesn't really read books. Yeah. But it's up to me now, so because I want to try some real butterbeer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got pumpkin juice and like anything, all the treats that
Mm,
you see. Like, look, I got all this, I got the beans and little candy dish. Super
I
delicious.
love. Oh yeah, I have to go. I have to finish reading the books first. And I also want to see the movies, but that's like after the
You want
book.
to read the books?
Yeah, right. Because I know my brother's like the books are better than the movies, and I'm
They are.
like, okay,
The
I'll
movies
trust
are
him.
great. I will say the movies are great. I think that because I like to read a lot of series that end up being movies, and I think
Right.
that Harry Potter movies are out of all of the ones from books to movies. I think that the Harry Potter ones did it the best. They were really close. I mean, you can't fit everything into the movie that's
Right.
in the book.
Like
So the books are better. They're more detailed. They have better stories to them. But the movies did a really good job too.
right. And I also think like the visual, being able to see it, that's
Hmm.
always very exciting too. I love that. Again, I haven't seen the movies yet. I was gonna watch the first one, but then I was like, I feel like I should wait until I'm completely done to watch the movies,
Yeah, you're gonna want to binge them. Just have
Right,
an entire dedicated to watching them all in a row.
right. Just like when I was doing like the Hunger Games,
Mhm.
I want to watch the first movie. But anyway, I'm getting off track. Which house would you belong to if you went to Hogwarts and why?
So I always thought I was a Gryffindor. I really, really did. But every single time I create a new account to retake the test on Pottermore, I'm a Ravenclaw. So I'm a Ravenclaw.
You're a Ravenclaw. Okay, I like it. I'm a Hufflepuff. Hello.
Okay.
I know sometimes people hate on them, but
No,
I'm a
I think
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuffs are awesome. Actually, J.K. Rowling was talking about how if there's any house she would want to be in, it would be Hufflepuff.
See, that's crazy because like everyone's like Hufflepuff are like so bright and they have too much. Don't. But then again, people hate on Slytherin too, so I'm not gonna come after anyone. So who is your favorite character and why?
Oh, I had to be Hermione Granger. I have a dog named Hermione. I like Hermione, but I also really like Luna Lovegood. I think her quirkiness is really awesome. Um, but I mean, who wouldn't want to be Hermione Granger? She's the girl that every little girl should look up to and want to be. Um, Super strong and brave and great in her studies and just kind of an inspiration. She's a really good character.
And she's very smart. I like that
Yeah,
one the most.
I
I wish
like that.
I wish I had the motivation that she has when it comes to studying. You know what I mean? Because she studies all the time, and I'm sitting there and I'm like,
I wish I just had that motivation in life in general.
yeah,
Do everything
exactly.
that I need to do.
Have the motivation. She has the motivation.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Since you love wizardry, I cannot speak today, and magic. I bet you have thought about this. If you had a magical superpower, what would it be and
Oh goodness. Okay.
why?
If I had a superpower. Oh gosh, that's a really difficult question because there's so
I know
many
there's
out there.
so many.
Yeah, I think I would want to time travel.
Well,
I think that would,
time travel. Ooh,
yeah, I think I'd want to be able to time travel. I think it'd be really cool to be able to like go way back and see different time periods.
Now, do you have like a time period that you like really like?
Yes, I love, well, so many. I would love to go back and see like the 1940s, like Rosie the Riveter time. I love that. But I also went to high school in Tombstone, Arizona. I don't know if you've seen the movie Tombstone, like the gunfight at OK Corral. So like the 1800s, late 1800s, like the cowboy time. I think that would be interesting to see. Um, so many, but I think those would probably be the top two.
Yeah, I really want to go to the 80s because
Oh yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
I love like the feel. I say this in every interview, I know, but I'm a huge Stranger Things fan. So for me, I want to go in the 80s. It's just a
Okay.
thing. I don't know. I love their outfits too. They're really like bright colored. Like I love like the paper bag shorts. I got a pair. Super exciting. But yes. So before we end our interview, is there anything additional you would like to share with our viewers today that we did not cover?
Um, I can't really think of much. You really covered a lot. I really enjoyed talking to you. I think
Thank
that you're an
you.
extraordinary young woman. I can't believe how much we've already accomplished in such a short amount of years. So I think that it's great, and you should continue being this inspiration and doing all that you're doing. I really, really appreciate it, and I think that you're going to help a lot of young girls.
Thank you so much. I love doing the series. So, Natalie, it has been so great speaking to you and learning more about your birthmark journey. I am so happy to get a chance to meet you.
It was such a pleasure meeting you too. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much. If you would like to visit Natalie's Etsy site, please see her store at Glittering Soul Creations, love the name, glittering, to learn more about the Vascular Birthmarks Foundation and how they are making a difference in the lives of so many like Natalie and I. Please visit their website at www.birthmark.org. Thanks so much again, Natalie, for sharing with us how strong and powerful you are. You're definitely more than a birthmark.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.